Uh, Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Darkness in Dublin. Said the new kindred on the streets, Ray Dominique, has called for a gathering at Elysium for all that may hear her particular calling. Right now, she's already speaking with some people that she's gotten pleasant relationship for now. Mr. Theodore Williams of Clan Nosferatu and Charlotte of the lovely Clan Toreador. She's actually spending more time with Charlotte than maybe she's expecting to. She's heard certain rumors about, well, of her work of the last recent nights.
Well, Charlotte is lounging on probably couch, perhaps, reading a book. Um, she seems to have taken up the length of the couch for herself since nobody else is wanting to sit next to her. So she has extended her feet onto the couch and she is laying on it. Um, she has her head on her back resting on one of the arms of the couch, but she'll look up occasionally to see who's coming into Elysium and who's leaving. But she's not particularly in conversation with anybody or anything like that at the moment.
Mm.
For Theodore's part, he is currently sitting in a very comfortable chair and he's reading the newspaper. One of the ones that are still in print.
So, Ray right now is near Theodore and looking at Charlotte rather intently, and she walks over to him and whispers, "I don't see those things you told me about."
Pardon?
No, the things. And she kind of makes a flapping motion with her hands.
Oh. Oh, well, right. You can go and ask her. Really, I don't see it's particularly my business, but
Well, when you bring something up like that, can't help me for being a little bit curious. Uh,
again,
she nods when when she hears Theodore's statement, and she walks over there a little bit sheepishly, and she says, "Well, how you been doing, Charlotte? You look tired."
Oh, I've been better. You'll actually, I don't think that the wounds have healed probably by this point, but maybe they have. But she's wearing a backless a shirt that exposes her back. And you see there are no wings there, but there are probably wounds that are healing in her back currently.
It depends on how much ag you took when they
Uh,
took him off.
Evan didn't tell me. All he said was that they probably got ripped off.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so it probably did a good couple of ag, which means it'll take a couple of days to fully heal.
yeah. So there's still mending, as it were, at the moment.
Ray looks a bit intently at in the direction of her back as she's in front of Charlotte, and there's definitely a look of concern and curiosity on her.
She'll close her book and she sets it aside, probably on a table. And she'll turn her back away from Ray, probably onto like her back against the couch, and she'll look up at her and she just says yes.
Uh, and when she sees that gesture, she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I I guess I'm just curious."
There's Nothing rude about being curious, but staring could be conceived as being rude.
She nods and tries to compose herself.
But yes, they were there.
Did you fly?
No, I didn't.
Then can you glide?
I didn't try.
Hmm.
I could have kept them, but I feel like they would have made my existence more difficult than it already is.
Oh, so you can't like retract them inside your body or make them invisible?
Well, no, I could. But for the attire that I enjoy wearing, it would have made things complicated. And, well, having wings sprouting from your back is a mess of a masquerade breach that I personally did not feel like dealing with.
Yeah. She nods, and then there's a bit of a mild disappointment on her face. Hmm.
You look disappointed. May I ask why?
Oh, not every day anybody gets the capability of flight, at least naturally. There's always those stories in the old movies saying that vampires can fly, but
Hmm.
I always assumed those were, just stories.
Yeah, well, I had no wish for it. I had no need for it, and, well, it simply I simply had them removed, despite how painful it was as a result.
Well, we heal pretty well, so they'll be gone before you know it.
Yes, yes, I will. How are you, though, darling? It's
Oh,
been quite some time since I've seen you.
yeah, well, ever since we had the conversation with that snake guy, we haven't met since then.
Oh, that's true, we haven't. It was an interesting interaction, I must say.
Yeah, he kind of droned on and on about, the history and the lies and what he believes in. I guess it was awing to see somebody dedicated to such a cause. I still
Yes,
did it.
yes, he did drone on and on. I'm gonna make a manipulation subterfuge roll because I'm lying out of my ass right
Oh
now.
no, she believes that we just had a lecture for like an hour and a half.
I know, but she's lying right now, so I wasn't sure if I need to roll for that or not.
No, remember I got my
I
memory
know,
rewritten.
I
So
know, I remember.
okay.
Um, but
Even if the memories have been changed, you can still tell if someone's lying about something or not.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. So
Hmm.
I'm not sure what kind of roll that is.
Manipulation subterfuge versus the other person's
Perception,
perception and
alertness, or perception empathy, I think.
empathy modified by their aspects level.
All right. Well, give me
Maybe
2 seconds.
no aspects.
Let me pull up my character sheet right quick. Mm,
And while you're doing that, Katya will walk in and approach Theodore.
Ah,
Um.
She looks much more put
Pavlonesen,
together than she did the day before.
Uh.
guten Abend.
You said it was subterfuge, right?
Yeah, manipulation and subterfuge.
Okay. So can somebody roll me some 8 dice, please? Tens are gonna double because I have a specialty in impeccable lies.
Okay.
Okay.
He will, in German, just say, pretty much, alles night fairy.
Feeling better than I was before. That's about all I can say.
That's a start. Would you do me the honor of your company?
Of course.
Splendid.
After all, you were the one who dragged me out.
Oh, I suppose that is true. And I honestly don't regret it one bit. Anyway, can I get you a refreshment?
Whiskey, neat.
Would somebody roll me 8 dice, please?
Yeah.
With
I saw something
10.
roll up in the chat, so I thought somebody else was rolling it.
No. 10s are going to double because I have a specialty.
Okay.
You will go up, and he will bring down whiskey and a glass of blood for himself.
How many successes was that?
It unfortunately was only one.
Damn. Okay then. That sucks.
Yeah, on 8d10, then need to be 6 or greater. So -1 for successes. Yeah.
False. She has enchanting voice. It would be diff 4.
Okay.
That's true. I always forget about that.
All right, then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, minus the 1. So he has 3 successes then.
Okay.
And for you to catch the lie, it is going to be perception and empathy. Difficulty 6.
And I'm actually in a similar boat. I have the merit good listener. When I am involving myself in friendly social conversations, I reduce social rolls by 2.
4 successes. You see through the lie. You can't tell what she's lying about, but she's lying about something.
You'd mainly be confused, like, I wonder what she's keeping from me. Like, if she's not telling me something, it must be important.
She's gonna get up and she's gonna walk over to the bar, and pour herself something to drink. And she's gonna stand there by herself.
Mm. Ray, turning and seeing him, Katya will wave over to Katya as he thinks that she's probably having a more interesting conversation with Theodore that she can have with her. But Ray will move over to Charlotte and she'll bring out a can of Coke and she'll open that up and begin drinking it. And she'll say, "So you saved the world, right?"
Who are you talking to?
Charlotte.
Me? I
Mhm.
I I didn't, but we collectively did.
So that means you did. Specifics or
Yeah.
not.
Well, I didn't play much of a part in that, but yes, I kind of did, kind of didn't. Either way, what matters is we won.
As Katya kind of grits her teeth because Charlotte kind of almost killed her.
So, like, was it like a people, ancient, like vampire, like Dracula kind of thing, or was it something else?
What do you mean?
I don't know. But like, I just know stuff from movies and things, and a little bit what my sire tells me. So I'm assuming it's just like, oh, there was a prophecy, 1,000 years ago, and some guy came up out of nowhere, wants to bring, 1,000 years of darkness. So,
Oh no, a madman wanted to bring about a new world.
so
That is
scenario,
the condensed version.
so scenario C. Okay.
Yes, I suppose so. Charlotte's actually she's gonna sip her blood and she's gonna try and make eye contact with Katya.
So I hear there's more things than just us, kindred. So, like,
Apparently so.
yes.
That seems to be true.
So were there like werewolves and like mages? And
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
okay, so
Yes,
those
there
things are
were.
very real.
And
Okay,
If
it
you would
was
like to learn more about mages, you can come sit over here and I'll tell you what I know.
well, I'm assuming that that one's kind of obvious. So she kind of turns over to Katya, takes her step for coke. They're wizards, so they do the magics. You know, they they shape reality to their will and things like that. I'm more of a Dresden person than Harry Potter.
I believe the quote from one of the mages I met was, I make reality my bitch.
Oh, that's arrogant.
um,
Yeah, it's quite arrogant, but that can be said of most of us.
does Katya look at Charlotte at all?
She's really trying not to.
So she doesn't make eye contact or anything like that.
Mm-mm. She's
Hmm.
trying not to right now. She's still in a very bad place mentally. She is only out because Theodore basically told her this isn't healthy, you need to come out.
So then, are there like shadow hunters too? I read those books.
Um,
There
she's gonna
are those that hunt us. Yes.
she's gonna pat Ray on the head and she's just gonna say, "Oh, you sweet summer child, you have so much to learn."
And she nods to that. But like, I'm assuming I guess there's people that know we exist and they're vampire hunters, but the shadow hunters, are magical. They can't be seen. They're some part of like really ancient guild. So I don't know. Those are just mages, or maybe they're different. I never asked my sire about that because I didn't have the opportunity to.
Hmm.
It's quite possible that there's a sect of mages that hunt us. I do know the Order of Hermes isn't very fond of my clan.
Mm.
Hmm.
And she just kind of looked at you weird because she doesn't understand that term, Order of Hermes.
The
Just,
Order of Hermes are a sect of mages. I believe they call them traditions.
and it's just more confusion on her face. Like, well, like more words that she has no idea what they mean.
Oh man,
Well, she knows what sect means. We use that.
Yeah, but traditions, Order of Hermes, it's like,
that's a lot of vocabulary words.
yeah.
Katya is just sipping on a glass of whiskey.
Then
Theodore has a straw out and is drinking the blood with a crazy straw.
That she's Charlotte's gonna look at Theodore and she's just kind of nods her head at that and she's like, "That's very amusing."
I'm
so
sorry. Oh, yeah, I found it. Thought
uh,
it might be a little bit breaking the mundanity of well what we have to do.
Charlotte's gonna search the bar for crazy straws.
No, my dear. This is not something. This is custom made.
Ah, I see.
Brought it
Well,
from far away. It's hard to get a hold of.
mm,
he,
well,
I
so then
can, however, I might know a person who knows a person.
she raises a single eyebrow.
you
She's gonna
didn't get
check the.
You can tell that the mouth, like you can tell that he has a smug grin on his face by the way that the bandages stretch.
Hmm.
He's just smiling.
She's gonna search the bar for bendy straws.
Ray will look at Theodore a little oddly and just kind of go, "You didn't get that just from like the local, dollar store?"
Hmm. Yeah, I think so.
A good Nosferatu never reveals his secret.
See, that is also very true.
Charlotte's gonna clear her throat and she's gonna say, "Primogen von Essen, might I have a word with you?"
Anything that needs to be said can be said right here.
Ah, hmm. Perhaps another time then.
Um, when she, when Ray sees kind of my small gasp of tension, she kind of perks up and goes over to Theodore, like, "Oh, I could do this now," and she picks up like a large piece of sofa in one of her hands.
A large piece of.
Sofa, so furniture.
Oh, oh, right. But please put that down. Redecorations, I think, it falls under the purview of the keeper.
I
We
don't
don't want
believe
to
Mr.
upset him.
Yes, I don't believe Mr. Rothschild would be very appreciative of that.
But it's always good to see that your capabilities improve.
And she places it down where she picked it up, and she goes, "But hey, what's?" And she thinks like, "Yeah, Whisper broke my head through a table. Doesn't that count?"
Yes, any use of talents of the blood should not be used in Elysium.
Well, she does
If you're
do it in a.
Whisper, I'm quite sure you can get away with it.
There is that, but she does it in a kind and loving way, I suppose.
If she really wanted to like break my neck and leave me paralyzed on the ground, she could have. She merely did that to make a point.
As Whisper does.
Which, yeah, isn't
That's,
that kind of weird?
that's kind of her thing.
No, not that. Like, technically, if we break our necks or spines, we are still, aware of the situation, but we can't move our bodies.
At least until it heals.
But I didn't think our bodies still worked, like on the nervous system. So I always thought that was kind of odd.
Found it! And she pulls out a bendy straw from behind the counter and pops it into her drink.
But there's all types of weird things I figured out doing experiments on myself, or stuff that my sire showed me.
Charlotte just giggles nefariously. Phrasing is important, my dear.
And Ray looks a little bit confused. Uh, And though she does kind of look around, like, "Do you guys not do that? Or am I being weird?"
Charlotte blushes a little bit.
Mm.
Depends on what you mean, but I don't believe that this is, what shall we say, normal, polite conversation, self-mutilation or experimentation. But hey, I'm behind the times, apparently.
Well, it's not like I'm doing this out of some type of fetishistic type of manner. It's more of a just kind of figure out what I can and cannot take. Um, it also helps with my product. It's easier to do tests on me than other kindred. Well, I don't know any, and two, I don't think many would be willing to take random drugs that they don't know exactly how they work.
Charlotte's gonna gather her things and she's gonna finish her drink before she bids the three of you adieu.
If you really want to have that conversation, I'd rather have it privately.
You know how to contact me.
Of course.
She's gonna bow and leave.
Oh, Charlotte, you still gonna open up that club? I'm still interested if you're gonna do that.
Yes, I have plans to do just that. I'll let you know how those proceedings go.
And she nods happily.
And I'll see you guys later. Have fun.
Have a good evening.
When Charlotte leaves, Ray kind of looks over to Katya, a bit concerned, and just simply says, "You guys gonna be okay?"
It will be fine. There's just some things that need to be discussed, and I'd rather not discuss it with other people around.
And she nods. I'm glad to see that you left that apartment.
Yes, well, I suppose Theodore was right. It wasn't healthy of me.
And she nods. It's, I guess the best way to put it is, dwelling and staying in the same place for too long can be unhealthy, especially after loss.
Mourning,
It
mourning
hasn't
is
even been a week.
mourning should be is an important thing. It should be done, but there is just honestly a bit of a bit of me that just feels that dwelling in it in that sense of living in a deceased person's places and staying around there, it's dwelling in it in a way that is not something that's going to help you live with the pain. But that is my thing. That is my
That is your opinion.
quite.
I'm sorry, I'm not great company right now.
Quite understandable.
Ray just simply says that I, I guess the best I could say is, well, I'll try to be as helpful as I can.
Have you had a talk with that dear Seneschal?
No, I've not seen him since that night.
Hmm. Fair enough. I was thinking of bringing up perhaps, well, perhaps bringing up something, but it can wait.
Bringing up what?
No, simply an unfilled, well, a couple of unfilled court positions. Maybe you've heard something.
Are you referring to the sheriff's office?
That and others.
Hmm. Depends on what position you want. Is going to be
Oh, no,
will
no, 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 no.
make
I
all the
would
difference in who you talk to.
quite so, but no, no. I am not angling for any position. As of yet, no, no. I am simply wishing to know if the princedom would wish anything of our clan. That is all.
You'll have to inquire with Prince Hennessy about that, I suppose.
Or the seneschal, but apparently he's busy. Must ask another thing. This, well, the loss you have had to endure. Is this something new in the extent that it is now? Or is it simply harder hitting in the sense that it was people you cared about? In a particular way?
It's not the first time I've lost someone, but the first time that I've lost someone I cared this deeply for, yes.
You know what they say, it is better to have loved and lost than to have never loved.
Um,
I'm not sure I buy
I
it.
have been in love one time and one time only. And I was a stupid child then.
Well, I was not necessarily thinking of love. I was merely thinking of caring for, empathy for people. Not in the direct sense of the word loved, but simply to have not cared for anyone and have not received care in return is better than to have never shared any empathetic connection with any other person or being on this our world.
Love isn't a word I use lightly.
Nor should you. Nor would I.
I need to ask Evan if other people could see her hubby talking to her during that scene. Because,
I think it was just in your head.
true.
I think that was fairly.
Anyway, shall we find another topic of discussion?
Quite so.
um, do people come here often? I'm assuming they don't. So I was kind of curious about that.
Oh, yes, quite often. The Elysium is rather popular for social gatherings, as one of the few other places in Dublin that was available for kindred gatherings was burned down rather tragically some months ago.
Ray nods to
Disconcerting.
that.
What was that, dear?
No, Ray just simply nods.
What did Theodore say?
Disconcerting.
Yes, the culprit still has not been found, I don't believe.
Hmm.
That was the restaurant of Alexander Delano, the master of harpies.
Oh, Delano.
Yes.
Clan
Lo-
Toreador.
yes, lovely man.
Wait, so you guys can. Was he like the head chef there? I'm more confused because like I know some of us can eat, but also I thought all cooks at a certain level only use fire. They don't use electrical stoves.
Yes, he was the head chef. Still will be once it's rebuilt. And it will be every bit as perfect as it was. After all, with a name like La Perfecta,
I'm sure the meals were very good, but La Perfecta apparently did not extend to their fire safety, apparently.
well, when
I
it
know,
comes to
arson is not something you can
explosives, there's not a whole lot you can do.
necessarily guard yourself. Ah, even worse. I thought it was simply arson.
No, it was a
Someone
targeted
blew it.
attack. Unfortunate,
Was this at the
because
time of the Sabbat incursion?
yes, we were dealing with the Sabbat at the time. Most have assumed that it was them, but we will have to see.
Fair enough.
Um, I keep saying that. Erg. Ray seems to be kind of messing with one of her uh, almost metallic hair braids. So how? Yeah, I did it again. Okay, yeah. So, what are places that I should know about in Dublin to go to and also to avoid?
To go to, obviously, you have here the Elysium. Kindred are always welcome at my bar in the Chantry at the Clontarf Castle Hotel. Technically, the hotel is under renovations, but I do welcome any kindred who would like to go to the bar.
He's a very good hostess.
Thank you, dear.
Then what
There
place?
is a sweets shop. I believe they also do coffees and teas, owned by a member of my clan, Mistina. Lovely little place. I'm trying to think. Evan, help.
No.
Meaty butt. Because I know there are other places. Fine. I'm gonna go look at the fucking places of import then.
Uh, I guess also again just know the little things that I've been told by my sire. The Sabbat are bad in the sense that they're like, well, they're not like the Anarchs, which are they're less free, they're more freedom
Oh
fighters
god.
than anarchists and anarchists.
Now, this is things you should know.
Well,
Yes, my dear.
oh,
Goodness
Pretty much by
gracious.
heart. I'm getting a little bit worried that your education has been
Lacking.
lackluster. Yes, indeed.
well, I know what they are, but obviously I don't know all the history and the details. And also, my opinion is from a very new and modern mindset, and you two are much older than I am, so getting your perspective would also help with my understanding.
Quite. Still, the details, well, also depends on who you ask, I suppose, but it is really things you can read up, especially with us, but this is not something we should discuss here. It is well-versed terrain, honestly.
There is the tapping of a cane. Tap,
God damn it.
tap, 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 tap. As you will see this gentleman stroll through the door. Tap, tap, tap.
Well, well, well. Rumpelstiltskin. What might you be doing here?
Well, you see, I was contemplating, and I said to myself, well, you have just. I believe the phrase that I'll use would be jolted through events that I've set in motion. So, in essence, I've come here, dearie, to make you a deal.
Now, why would I do that?
Oh, I don't know. Phenomenal cosmic power, itty bitty living space. I'm willing to pay quite handsomely, you see.
And what is it you would want in return?
Just the outfit you wore when you killed Lord Ashar.
I'm quite fond of that outfit.
From an out-of-character perspective, the outfit's actually fucking ruined. It was reefed up by the first.
Oh, true. Damn. Why would you want a tattered rag?
I have my reasons, dearie. I have my reasons. So, I'll even grant you a favor.
Hmm. Can you intelligence a cult to see if he could do something with it?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. That's 4. That is 6 successes.
Oh yeah. You were in Aishar's presence when he died, when his body turned to dust. Chances are there's some of his dust on your clothing.
What might you want with the dust that he turned into?
My business.
One favor, huh?
One favor.
Concerns me that you want it, especially given the other things you've gotten your hands on.
I'm just a man who happens to be very good at the commerce of the commerce of I have, you want, and you want, I have.
You're also quite adept at stealing, as it seems. The book.
Hmm?
The book that you sold at the auction.
I stole nothing. I merely bought it from someone. Whether they had the right to take it or not, well, that's a different story. I don't steal.
Hmm. Out of character, I'm sitting here wondering how bad this is going to bite me in the ass if I do it.
I can't possibly say.
Is she the only one he's asking? Because Theodore was also there.
She is the only one he is asking.
That outfit probably also has her blood on it.
You can make that assumption if you'd like.
Mm. Do not like. Why am I the only one you're asking?
Once again, dearie, and that's for me to know. Unless you'd like to trade a favor for that knowledge.
I don't think so. I've seen what favors from you turn out to be. It was a favor from him that Francis had to go steal the sword from Sideshow, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Mm. Fine. I'll bring it to your shop.
Excellent. Excellent. You can consider yourself owed one favor by me. Oh, do forgive me, I interrupted your rather pleasant conversation. I'll be on my way. Pleasure to see you again, Grimachin von Essen. Ah, Mr. Williams. Always lovely to be here, always lovely to see you, and whatever the hell that is. Also nice to meet you.
Pleasure as always.
Ray.
To
Yeah, so Ray just kind of gives him a look of scrutiny.
He turns and he walks out the door, leaning on his cane.
Another one of Dublin's industrious citizens.
Yes. It's Rumpelstiltskin.
I'm assuming that's a title, then, not his actual name.
No, that is his name.
Okay.
At least as far as any of us know.
Well, it's not like that name wasn't a name just because the name is famous for a story didn't change the validity of it.
Well, he was apparently given back his name just recently at an auction.
Is he part of your clan, I'm assuming?
I'm not even actually sure what he is.
And why do we let him inside?
Because I've looked at him under the powers of the blood and I've seen different things. Sorry. And I've seen different things each time.
Shouldn't somebody then, like, check on him?
Well, says I'm going to be paying him a visit very soon anyway.
Theodore
I may
just
have just made a very big mistake.
Oh, he was awfully suspicious and arrogant. So, I assume you're doing the right thing.
What were you going to say, Theodore, dear?
well, you say he was at the auction, is leading the auction, or
He was the auctioneer.
who can tell exactly why wants it, but certain esoteric values are sometimes gathered from such things. But I don't believe that a person like him would do something when it is not somewhat planned. I do not know what you would do with ashes, but I've heard stories. Hmm. That reminds me, I have to perform 2 concerts soon.
Oh, did not know
Well,
you were an artist.
concerts, really. I'm going to perform. And he is one of the people I have to perform for. Well, I'm guessing he will set up one of the arrangements. The other one I will be having a wonderful duet with the Toreador Primitive.
Ah,
Looking forward to it, I must say. Yes, I am an artist. Well, I still am, but mostly was. But I still make do.
well, I'd like to be in attendance for, at the very least, the performance with Miss Noir.
I don't know. Such an invitation might be hard to come by. Yeah, again, you can tell that he's smiling.
This actually gets like the first smile out of her that evening.
Hey, on a sorry note, Chin, I'm really, really sorry.
Oh, God damn it.
Don't know why I'm sorry? Because this.
Why? No, go away.
You guys will see this figure walk right up to the doorway of the Elysium. They've got a umbrella held up over their head as the rain trickles down. It's one of those very, very, very severe kind of summer showers. They're holding the umbrella over their head. They step inside the Elysium and they let down the umbrella. They shake it to kind of dislodge the water. Before they walk very slowly, one foot in front of the other, in a very kind of rhythmic step, almost like they're listening to music, towards you guys. She holds out a piece of paper to the group in general. She doesn't appear to be holding it out to anyone else, and she just waits.
Theodore will just mumble something to himself in German, and he
Ooh, wait.
will go over and he will just say, "Good evening. How can I help you?"
She waves. A smile splits the face, and she waves. But then she puts a hand up to her lips, and she kind of puts a finger up to her. She puts her hand over her mouth.
He nods, doesn't say anything.
But she holds out the piece of paper again, like kind of like gesturing for you to
Is
take
it
it.
an envelope, or just a blank piece of
It
paper that's folded or something?
it's like a flyer.
Ah, okay, okay. He will take it.
It says, because I like reading this out, forget your worries and wipe away those tears. We bring you your hopes, banishing worries and fears. Run away from those worries and lighten the load. Where stories with laughter herein are told. Who needs the dawn? The night suits us just fine. We whom are broken, we who are broken, beaten, shattered. The unwhole sublime. The doors will swing wide. Its mouth. The door will swing open. Its mouth yearning wide. Come now for one evening and taste the divine. The circus is coming to town.
He nods bows slightly.
She repeats the gesture. Almost like it's weird. Almost like she's learning the gesture. Like mimicking.
Hmm. And it immediately won't say anything. He'll just kind of go back.
When you take the piece of paper, she turns and starts to walk towards the door.
He looks at it, puts it down on the table where the others are. Never was much of a circus man myself. And a circus that knows where this place is. Not really my scene, I'm afraid.
Well, certainly troubling.
The sorry, media gave me too much reason to avoid circuses.
Hmm. Speaking of circus, by the way, that circus we were involved in not too long ago, Katja, my clanmate did actually hold you in your less than conscious form, a bit away from that situation when it unfolded. Amalia, remember?
I was not aware.
That's why I mention it. I'm not saying or dictating anything, but I do believe that. Mm, I do believe people should be recognized for their good deeds. You can talk to her yourself if you wish, but she did grab you and our good seneschal.
I will have to thank her and get Francis, the seneschal, too, as well.
I think she will appreciate it. I myself was rather busy surviving.
Indeed. If it were not for that salubri, I think many of us would be dead.
Oh, most certainly. Most certainly.
And if not for Fabian as well. He gave us the opportunity to do what needed to be done.
Indeed.
Regardless of his sect ties.
I suppose.
I'm just glad his sacrifice won't be in vain.
Yeah, that is very
Because he knew he was going to die.
true. But still, one wishes it could have. There could have been another solution.
When he told me his plan, sorry about that. Angry baby. Well,
Very unhappy.
and I'm not really sure what about. when he told me his plan and told me that he was almost certainly, and I brought up that he was probably going to die if he did, he simply said, I know.
And he did it anyway.
Yes, he did.
Commendable, I suppose.
It just. Seems like every time I close my eyes, I see him having his heart ripped out again and again.
No one should have to see that.
Anyway, I'm bringing it down, bringing this little gathering down. Let's
Not at all.
talk about something else.
Fair enough. If you are to dabble in entertainment, gotcha. What sort of entertainment, what part of the arts seem to agree with you the most? That must be a different topic.
I'm not much of an artist myself, unless you count hair as being an artist.
Well, touche. Oh, I don't, but I don't have hair anymore, so.
I've become quite adept at styling, coloring, doing things with hair.
Oh, I can tell. And I approve.
Oh, you should have seen it for the Giovanni Gala.
I can tell that I'm somewhat regretful that I didn't. Anyways, I could flatter you all evening, and it would be a genuine pleasure for me, but I
Ray,
must say
you've
we're
been
kind
quiet, dear.
Oh no, I'm just listening. Uh, Obviously, you guys have a more close relationship, so I'm just letting you talk.
We've only just recently met, dear.
Okay.
but the
Uh,
Primogen here is simply such delightful company that she's easy to talk to. Something that anyone should appreciate.
Flattery will get you everywhere, my dear.
Oh, I try. But, you see, I am, as you said, or commented before, when you asked me if I was an artist, and yes, indeed I am. My particular area of expression is classical opera.
Oh,
Quite
interesting.
interesting, fascinating, enchanting, many things.
Enchanting, particularly if you are a toreador and, well,
Oh, that I cannot claim for myself, but
their clan weakness tends to.
oh, I've seen it plenty of times. And every time one toreador fails in his posturing and actually recognizes what I can do and the flair of which I can do. Well, there are 3 or 4 other toreadors who blame me and cast their evil tongues my way, but oh well. I cannot blame them for jealousy. It is a very hard thing to overcome.
Ray looks very approving hearing that. Mm, I can't say personally myself, but my sire says she feels most toreadors, especially the younger ones, are posers. I think that's the word she told me.
I've met a few who are posers, and I've met a few who are genuinely brilliant. Brilliant people.
You really should
Perhaps,
meet the seneschal.
oh, was not under the impression, I was under the impression that someone mistook some papers and he was supposed to be a Ventru, but apparently he is also an artist.
He's a toreador.
Right, but it strike me as an sculpting, painting, perhaps.
He openly admits himself that he isn't much of an artist, but he certainly appreciates art just as much as any of us do.
Well, Rumpelstiltskin was his name. I will be putting a show on for him and certain invited guests. But I will also be putting on a show for the Don of the Giovanni.
Ah, Florin. Lovely man.
Indeed. As harsh as
Quite
Giovanni.
charming.
Oh, yes, I suppose. I've only met him once, so cannot say one way or the other, not for sure.
Um, so I guess that's true. They straight up just hide themselves with organized crime, Giovanni.
They tend to, yes. Not all of them, but quite a few of them, yes.
Mm, that's interesting, I guess.
Well, the thing about organized crime is normally you would have to pay protection money to them for them to be pleasant. But you would be protected, honestly. And in our case, we don't even need to pay protection money to them. We just need to be decent and not meddle in their affairs, and they will tend to be fairly pleasant, most of them.
Mm,
Oh, you missed the one event where Florin lost his temper.
Uh, um, that I'm not entirely sure I'm sad for missing, honestly.
Well, when a fledgling toreador decides to call him, what was it, Don Corleone?
Okay, I retract my previous statement. I really wish I'd seen that.
Mm. Florin hit him in the face so hard it cracked his mask.
Can't say I'm surprised.
No, it appears he's quite strong. Though that shouldn't surprise me. Giovanni tend to be.
They do.
mm, so again, Ray has a bit of scrutiny on her face.
What is it, dear? Speak up.
The I I don't have anything necessarily nice to say, so I don't think I should say it.
Oh dear.
The prospect of violence is something that unsettles you, yes?
It's the idea that there's just a group of, well, basically, what, polite brigands that could manipulate people's souls that we just work with. Kind of makes me uncomfortable.
They are necromancers, and they come in quite handy.
That's, well, the devil you know. That's always good to know.
Consider, my dear, that my powers of the blood allow me to manipulate people's minds, take memories, implant false ones.
Well, I'm not saying that it isn't also as devastating or disturbing, but there are lines that I choose not to really involve myself in, and being disrespectful to the dead is kind of on my list.
My dear, we're all dead.
Mm. Mm, so- oh. And she shakes her head a little bit. It's like, yeah, then I'm not denying that, but there's a difference between breaking somebody's body than breaking somebody's soul. That's supposed to, stick around forever.
She kind of winces a little bit at that.
I'm not saying that I'm gonna like going around, talking bad about them and destroying their operations. I don't have that power for that, for one thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean I have to be okay with their methods.
And our clan methods, any clan's methods, are. It is simply the practice of manipulating souls that irks you.
Well, they don't they well they're necromancers, so I'm pretty sure they do more than just do that. I'm sure in, possible walking bombs, you know, finding ghosts or whatever they do, evil ghosts that they might haunt people with. The list goes on. I played a decent amount of video games and read a amount of books that talk about the horrors of
See,
necromancy.
there's your first problem. Video
Exactly,
games.
you are learning from garbage.
Mm.
Try talking to a necromancer.
I haven't heard any rumors that these guys are like the white hats of necromancy. They're not like shamans or anything. That at least that's what I've heard. My sire says she's never seen a Giovanni that's been respectful to the dead. That's all I can say.
Have you considered that maybe your information source is a little biased?
But I won't deny that one bit. She could be unlucky and just met Giovannis that have been distasteful to her. But that's all I know. I've already seen several people that choose to speak poorly of me, mainly because of what I look like and also because I'm young.
So you should continue the process.
Mm, said no, but I'm not going to assume better until I see otherwise.
And what have they told you of my clan?
And I said, As you and Charlotte have both proved, you're different from most. You're actually willing to talk to me and Theodore.
I hold no prejudice towards any clan.
And I appreciate that. So I'm not saying that I'm gonna be throwing Giovanni's into a bus. I'm just saying I'm going to be cautious.
You should always be cautious with kindred. Always.
And she nods. But, but I'm getting personally, uh, I guess not necessarily hungry. I'm relatively full, but I have a taste for. Well, I don't know if they serve Chinese food here or not, but I'll see if I can find out. So I'll see you guys later.
Katya would give a little nod.
Ray
As
will.
she,
Hmm?
as she's left, Theodore will just, there'll be a short sigh or like very silent or slowly, and you'll just, in German, he'll just say, she has a very long road ahead of her.
Katya just gives a nod and responds in German. Yes, she does. But we were all that naive once.
There will be a,
Oh, don't give me that.
I'm a man who can admit his faults and prompted to when necessary, but
You're telling me when you were a fledgling you know everything that you know now.
no. But I didn't. I learned a bit quicker. Say.
It takes time.
Oh, yes, I know.
And we have a lot of it. Anyway, I should get back to the chantry. I haven't actually been back in a couple of days.
I will not tell the Primogen what to do. But it is good to see you up and about again.
I am trying, but it's not even been a week.
Well, well, a very old expression, a rest for the wicked, I suppose it applies here.
I will see you later then. You have my number.
Oh, yes, I do.
She
Smile.
also takes out a business card. The chantry number is on the front.
Hmm.
I don't think I
Splendid.
gave you that before,
I appreciate it.
just in case I can't be reached at my cell phone.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Cell phones. I found them so odd when I first came out of torpor.
Mm. I must say I miss the rotary dials, but oh well.
I went into torpor in the 40s, woke up in 1999, and, well, You can imagine the culture shock.
I can imagine. Kind of.
It should lean down and...
His voice seems to have changed a little bit.
You're right.
Hmm. Yes, very fine. Very well.
Is that a lie?
Well, you don't have to roll because he will amend the statement not too long after. But a person like you, I suppose there is more in it for you to care about people. You woke in the 1940s. Or went to sleep in the 1940s. Do I... I'm going to go out on a limb that might have been due to more than just you wanting to go into torpor.
That's not something you need to concern yourself with.
Fair enough. That is all he will say. He will just tip his hat. Or nod his head.
She gives him a nod as she stands up. It was good seeing you.
Likewise.
Then she will head out.
All right. Theodore will not leave. He will sit and continue reading his newspaper. And I do believe that this is the moment that we will end our scene.